Responsibility of payment of wages. Every employer, including a contractor, shall be responsible for the payment to persons employed by him of all wages. In case of person employed otherwise than by a contractor, the following persons are responsible for the payment of wages. In factories, a person named as manager, they are responsible. In industrial establishment, the person is responsible for the supervision and control of the industrial establishment. In railways, the person nominated by railways in this behalf. Wage period. The person responsible for the payment of wages shall fix the periods in respect of which the wages shall be payable. However, no wage period shall exceed 1 month. Time of payment. There are rules regarding the time of payment for wages. In railway, factory, or industrial establishment employing less than 1,000 persons, wages shall be paid before the expiry of the seventh day after the last day of the wage period in respect of which the wages are payable. In all other railway, factory, or industrial establishment, wages must be paid before the expiry of the 10th day of the last day of the wage period. Where the employment of any person is terminated, his wage shall be paid before the expiry of the second working day from the day on which his employment is terminated. The provincial government may exempt persons employed in a railway or otherwise in a factory from operation of this law. The provincial government may exempt persons employed in a railway otherwise than in a factory from operations of this law. All payments of wages shall be made on working day. Medium of payment. All wages shall be paid in current coin, currency notes, or in both. Deduction from wages. The following deductions can be made from the wages. Let's talk about the fines and then we'll talk about the absences, damages, loss, services rendered, advances, overpayment, cooperative society insurance scheme, income tax, orders of the code, provident fund, written authorization. But first of all, let's talk about fines. There are rules regarding the fines. Fine can be imposed on an employee for acts or omissions which are specified in a list approved by the provincial government or prescribed authority. A list of fine must be exhibited in the place of work in a prescribed manner. The employee must be given an opportunity to show cause against the fine before any fine is imposed. The total amount of fine imposed in any one wage period must not exceed 3% of the wages payable. No fine shall be imposed on a person who is under age of 15 years. No fine imposed can be recovered from the wages in installment after the expiry of 60 days from the day on which it was imposed. Every fine shall be deemed to have been imposed on the day of act or omission for which it was imposed. All fines and recoveries shall be recorded in a register to be kept by the persons responsible for the payment of wages. Fine recovered shall be spent on the welfare of employees. Absence from duty. A person is deemed to be absent from duty if he is physically present within the premises of his duty, but not attending to his job. The deductions from wages are permitted for absence from duty. The ratio between the amount of such deductions and the wages payable must not exceed the ratio between the periods of absence and wage period. However, if 10 or more employed persons acting in concert absent themselves with due notice and without due notice and without reasonable causes, such deduction from any such person may include such amount not exceeding his wages for 8 days, as may be due to the employer in lieu of notice. Damage or loss. A deduction shall not exceed the amount of the damage or loss caused to the employer by the neglect or the default of the employed person. Such deductions can be made only after giving an opportunity of showing cause against deduction to the worker. All deductions in realization must be recorded in a register to be kept by the person responsible for the payment of wages.